Welcome. In this video, we'll take a look at some creepy, disturbing photos found on the internet. So if you're into the creepy, disturbing, paranormal, or mysterious stuff, then I suggest you turn off the lights, sit back, and enjoy this creepy video because it surely will make your skin crawl after this. Let's begin. This first photo is posted on Reddit by a user named Feral Cat. It's titled, "Girlfriend was taking selfies one night by herself and saw this in one of her pics." Now, there's not much background information given to describe exactly what's captured in this photo or what we have to look for other than the woman seen here in this picture. But upon further observation, there seemed to be some form of anomaly spotted in the picture that I believe it's what the poster is referring to. Over here on the right side of the woman's face, just above her shoulder, there seemed to be a creepy-looking face peeking out to the camera. The face looked much like a child's face of sort, with black eyes and an eerie grin on her face. Some commenters point out that the face is actually of a girl in the TV behind her, saying the girl is actually sitting on the couch talking to a camera or something, and not actually someone behind her. Now, I don't know if this is what the poster was referring to or if it's some kind of clever editing, but I'll let you be the judge of this one. Whether fake or genuine paranormal evidence, it's up to you to decide. This next photo is posted on Reddit by user Lower Boysenberry 50. It's titled, "Brother got a photo of a ghost." The description of the post reads, "Trigger warning, this photo is the scariest thing I've ever seen. My brother was in college in Boston, home alone, and felt a presence in his roommate's bedroom. He turned around to look and saw a shadow of a person. He quickly snapped this photo and looked, and it was gone." These are the two photos uploaded in this post. Make sure to pause the video and take a good look at each photos to see if you notice anything eerie or of paranormal nature. Now, if you look carefully at these two images at the end of the hallway, where the room door is slightly opening, you'll notice a face peeking out behind the door and looking towards the camera. Now, this looks like the cliché, stereotypical ghost moves, always peeking out around the corners or doors. That's been seen numerous times now on countless scary videos or movies, and even anyone can reenact this and make creepy edits and all. But still, you have to admit that this is really scary regardless, and anyone in this situation would have had the most scariest moments of their lives. So again, fake or real paranormal evidence, I'll let you be the judge of this one. Now, this next photo is posted with a long backstory to it, so you'll have to bear with me on this. It's posted on Reddit by KennyC5576, and it's titled, "What Was She Planning to Do to Me?" I'll read the backstory first, which is important to this post in order to understand what the photo is all about. The story goes, "This past Monday, my coworkers and I returned to our hotel from a day of work out in the field. Rebecca and I walked to our rooms, and as we stood outside of our rooms, I opened mine and I saw someone in the bathroom. I said, 'Hello?' Nobody answered. My first instinct was that it was a cleaning lady in there for some reason. And then I saw my bag with my clothes in her hands. I said to my coworker, 'There's a woman in my room.' Then I asked the woman, 'What are you doing with my stuff?' It gets a little fuzzy here because I can't remember everything I said and what she said, but she kept mumbling about how her key still worked, how it still worked, and that's how she got in. I was in shock, and she was obviously very flustered, having been caught mid-robbery. She dropped my bags and fumbled around with her purse and a white plastic bag. By this time, my coworker was behind me watching all the insanity unfold. This woman was scrambling and walking towards the door, and I said, 'What's in the bag?' thinking it is probably my stuff, and so she said, 'No, it's just my things. It's just my things. I'll show you.' And so she did. I looked and I didn't see anything of mine, and so since I'm obviously in shock at this time, I let her leave. I went into my room and it's been ransacked. I did a quick look around to see if anything had been taken. All of my electronics were still there. Then I went into the bathroom and I saw my underwear, my bikini, and my clothes shoved into my own bags randomly. Even my passport was shoved in there. Then I looked on the counter and I saw that she got into my medication. I'm not sure what was going through my head at the moment other than I wanted it back. So I ran out the door to go find her. I ran to the laundry room downstairs and out to the sides of the hotel, and I didn't see her. I realized I was never going to find her, so my coworker and I went down to the lobby to tell them what happened, and then we called the police. We went back up to my room to wait, and I noticed that there is a metal bat on my bed, a little larger than one of those novelty wooden bats you can get at a baseball game, but there's also a flashlight on the end. She must have left it behind in her hurry. She also left behind a necklace that must have fallen out of her bag when she was scrambling with mine. I was mostly freaking out at this point because I thought that she'd gotten away with my medication that I need. The police got there and took our statements and looked around the room as well. One thing that I noticed was that there were bits of drywall in the sink, and I pointed that out to the cops, but none of us really knew where it came from. We started looking at the door and the windows to see if she pried her way in somehow, but there was nothing. So we kind of just went with the idea that she had a spare key or something, even though the hotel front desk was adamant that there's no way that could be. The officer that came brought 2 more officers as backup because they thought the woman might still be in the vicinity. But after our statements were taken, there was nothing else they could really do, so they left. I sat down to finally make some calls to tell people, and as I'm on the phone, I'm thinking about the drywall in the sink, and it still didn't make sense to me. So I'm on the phone and looking at the drywall and the mirror on the wall right above it. And then it hit me. I got my coworker and asked her to help me pull at this mirror on the wall. And we took the mirror down, and there's a hole there just big enough for a desperate junkie to squeeze through. I asked Brian and Rebecca if I should call the cops again to let them know that I found this, and my boss said, "There's still 2 cop cars in the parking lot." So I went down to tell them, and the female cop kind of rolled her eyes. But the young guy said, "I'll come check it out." They both came back up, looked in the hole, and found a pillow, blankets, cigarettes, clothes, toothbrushes. This woman had been living in the wall behind my mirror for God knows how long. She had access to me and my room at all times. I know it might be hard to picture. There was a crawl space about 2 feet wide in between the 2 rows of rooms. One of the officers called the original officer to come back and take pictures of this. She explained to him what's going on, and all I hear over the radio is, "No fucking way." He comes back, takes pictures, and is just as mind blown as the rest of us. Obviously, we packed up and left immediately. What's even crazier is she has probably been there a long time. The last time we stayed at this hotel, I would randomly smell cigarette smoke, and I assumed someone was smoking in their bathroom and it was traveling through the vents. But nope, a junkie was smoking just on the other side of my mirror. She had access to other rooms too. The holes in the walls were from a renovation, and the hotel hadn't properly patched and just covered up with mirrors. She could have been hanging out in people's rooms when they were gone. Anyway, this was insane, and I'm taking a little time off. The woman has since moved out of that room, and thankfully, she's not harmed or hurt, given the scope of the danger she has been living with unknowingly for quite a while. As for that woman in the wall, there's been no info or updates on whether she is found by the police or not, since the last time they've seen her inside that room. She's never returned, and the hotel has since looked into patching those walls and ensuring the safety of their guests. Now, unlike the 2 previous posts, this one is not of paranormal nature, but involves real everyday human threat and shows how much more dangerous and real a human threat can be to others that are unaware and vulnerable to the dangers around them. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you. I appreciate you so much. If you find creepy, disturbing, or horror contents interesting, please do like and subscribe for more videos like this. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.